Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Ed is on his way over. Same with Monica and Renee.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, did you ask him for information for someone who does know why?
No, that's why I'm asking while I'm here.
Why didn't you ask him that?
Well, hey, whoa.
I'm asking you a question because you should have asked him that.
No. You don't tell me what I should or should not have done.
Okay,
so can we provide him the information?
Who do you think you are?
that he needs to?
What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today we have an outstanding video for you guys. We know how much you guys like follow-ups. This is a follow-up video, but you've never seen an audit like this before. Before we get into the video, I'm going to tell you a little bit of something that we've learned since we started our channel. We've discovered a pattern of cops not knowing the First Amendment of the Constitution. Do you know the First Amendment, as a matter of fact?
I was trying to answer some of your questions. As a parent, you didn't want me to. If you just wanted my badge number to talk to me and say, who am I? Sergeant Diaz, Bakersfield Police Department, badge 962.
Appreciate that.
Thank you. You guys have a safe night. We'll see you guys out, okay?
Do you know the First Amendment of the Constitution?
I appreciate it.
You see, you guys always tuck your tail and leave when I ask you the tough questions. Simple question, you don't know it? That's the problem with you guys, man. The problem is they swore an oath to the Constitution in order to get that job. The least they can do is memorize what the people's natural rights are. The First Amendment of the Constitution mirrors those natural rights. Freedom of speech, freedom of press, freedom of religion, freedom to assemble, and freedom to petition your government for redress of grievances. These documents were not written to give us our rights. They were written to limit the scope of authority that cops and government has over we the people. Now to why this video is so important. If cops don't know the Constitution and the oath that they swore to, it's because they're not being trained properly in the academies. I Am Free Inland Auditing goes to the main person in charge for all the academies in the state of Washington, and he has a sit down with her. You guys are absolutely going to appreciate this video. If we're ever going to create change, I believe we have to put the ones on top on notice. With that being said, let's check out this video. I'll pause for some comments. We'll give you our final thoughts at the end. And don't forget to go subscribe to his channel. Let him know that I sent you. Here we go, folks.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Executive Director. How you doing?
I'm great, and yourself?
Good.
I'm Monica Alexander.
Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Thank you.
Ed Wade, Assistant Director.
Nice to meet you.
We're going to go over here to the commission room.
Thank you. Well, I really appreciate you meeting with me. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, it's nice to meet you. I am not a big, where I want to go back and forth with emails. I prefer just to talk to people. Because,
I totally get it.
There's so much lost in the translation of emails.
I agree.
So
I actually look at the same way.
Here.
Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely. I agree. There's at a certain point, it's just better to meet in person. You can get it done a lot quicker.
Yes.
And you can read tonal inflections, all sorts of stuff. So thank you. So I was hoping, I don't know how much time you have today.
I have 30 minutes.
Okay. I will try to be as efficacious as I can with that time. And thank you again for meeting with me. I actually have probably about 15 questions I want to run by you, see if I can get through as many as I can.
That means that's giving you 2 minutes per question, so let's go.
Okay. Well, the first one is the records index. It looks like it's being basically handled, and it sounds like early April.
It's up and running right now.
It is?
Yes.
Great. When we're done, would it be okay for me to run by and just go check that out?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
And the computer's set up, and there's actually even a little sign there that says records index over there.
Great. Awesome. Well, that's fantastic. I was curious how long, because what had originally started all of this was I had received an email that said, hey, I wanted to go and get some information, look at this records index, and their attempt to reach out and get information about it resulted in nothing. So then I started looking at it.
Can you tell me who you reached out to?
No, they reached out to me. So I just got a press@inlandauditingmedia.com email address that people can reach out, sends me tips and leads, and then depending on what those tips and leads are, I try to vet them a little bit, and then I just go start looking at the story. So that's what brought me there initially. And I was curious, how long was it out of compliance for? Do you know?
That I can't tell you. I mean, I can answer that question later, but I would have to look into it.
Sure, okay.
To be honest with you, I don't even know if it was ever established or not. So I can find that out for you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
It was never brought to our attention, and there's so many things, as you know, that are all around that we're learning. I've been in this position a little over 2 years now.
Gotcha.
And then the assistant director came on about a year ago. And we're learning a lot about this place. And,
Sure,
and I enjoy the process.
Yeah.
But it feels like, we're going through policies, we're redoing and looking at policies, and we're looking at, and as you know, every year we get different laws, so laws change. So we're in that learning phase, but definitely not making excuses. We're actually glad you brought it to our attention, because it was
That's
not
great.
a hard fix.
Okay.
It was just a matter of knowing we're supposed to have this. Okay, well, let's figure out how to have this and have it accessible. So,
Okay. For issues like the records index, but others potentially, does the commission welcome members of the public and the press, one and the same of course, to come and conduct business during operating hours regarding the specific liberties of press, speech, and petitioning?
So I would answer that as yes, with this caveat. We have over 300 recruits on campus. We use every piece of space we have. We have 36 acres and we're everywhere. And that training is really important, that our recruits are able to focus. And so I have meetings all the time with people, the public and the press, as you say, one and the same. But I schedule meetings and they come in, they tell me what they're looking for, what they would like, the information, and then I set it up so they can get what they need. We don't have anything to hide here, but we do have over 300 recruits to make sure that their training is not interrupted.
Sure.
Because they have to get so many reps, they have so much to accomplish every day for their 720 hours, and that is our primary goal for being here, is to train the recruits and the law enforcement for tomorrow. And there's some high expectations of them. There's some high, so there's been a lot of changes, and our instructors have to change with all of those asks, and then they have to give it to the recruits. And listen, they're already nervous. They're tested on everything they do. So going through a class is not just checking a box. They're going to be tested on it. And so we try to keep any interruptions to a minimum. But if someone calls and says, hey, I'd love to be able to come over and this is what I'm doing, I'll meet with you, or our communications manager will meet with you, and we'll try to make sure we facilitate that.
Wait a minute. This sounds like a bunch of hogwash. First and foremost, cops are not trained properly. They're only trained in brute force and compliance. It takes more training hours to become a hairdresser or a barber than it does to become a cop. So teaching the cops the people's natural rights, the Constitution, is absolutely not a distraction, but a necessity. I mean, you can easily hammer it into them while they're doing push-ups. It's that simple, folks. It's an easy fix.
So in the vein, specifically within the realm of press, I do investigative journalism, so the issues that come my way if I decide to act on the tips and or leads that I receive are such that usually I need to show up. I was working on an oil spill, which now there's a big, for the Auburn School District, there's a big thing that just happened where it's been discovered that they were lying about it. There was an oil spill for that story I was working on, and the whole point of investigative journalism is to show up and catch something if there is something afoot. Doesn't mean, obviously, that commissions, organizations, agencies don't have the opportunity to fix it. Sounds like you guys got right on it and fixed the records index, for example. And I'm not trying to say this agency is lying, to be clear, or either of you. But in the vein of investigative journalism, where we have to have the liberty to show up and to look at things where we're viably able to go to, I obviously just can't walk into the back into, limited access areas. But for purposes of coming here to work on leads that might be in the public areas, is that something that you're willing to say is accessible for the press to come and work on those stories, as is their liberty?
So even when we have, I have Cairo, King 5, Como, Cairo Radio,
Sure.
that will call sometimes Seattle Times, and they'll say, hey, do you have any availability today? I'm working on this story. I make it happen for them. But to just come in and interrupt our training, I say no. I say, no, that's not going to happen.
Whoa, pump your brakes there, Big Red. So basically what she's saying is she's there to train the people to just obey. She truly doesn't understand what the First Amendment entails. Guaranteed, she doesn't know it either. And that's a massive misconception that's out there, that the people need some kind of press pass or credentials to be a member of the press. Folks, freedom of the press is part of the First Amendment, along with freedom of speech and freedom of religion. You don't need a religion pass to go to church. She's over here trying to spew radio stations, local news networks that call them and kiss their ass and ask for permission to be free. But let's not forget all these mainstream news organizations. They refer to police as the authorities, when in fact, cops have absolutely no authority over anyone. The people have the authority. Keep watching.
And here's the thing, say there's an emergency here, say I get injured on campus and somebody thinks it's a big deal based on how it happened. The press is gonna show up, I get that. But if it's something like the index that we can talk about and make time to come out for you to see that, that's not something that's like happening right this minute. It's something that is not in place like it should have been. You brought it to our attention, and that's something that we can discuss. So I think there's two different, kind of right now versus can we talk about this and figure out what we need to do about it?
Sure. And on the records index, is that going to be publicly available for people from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday as per the WAC?
So I would think that that's available actually Monday through Thursday because that's the days that we're open now.
Oh, fair enough. Well, yeah.
So Monday through Thursday we have, yes.
So a member of the public can just walk in 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. per the WAC, just randomly drop by? Okay.
And that's why Assistant Director Wade made sure it was in an accessible area. So when the public comes, yes, they have to ring the little bell and then someone will let them in and show them exactly where the index is. So absolutely.
Right. Okay. I wanted to get into the trespass issue if I could now. And I've got a few things regarding that kind of relate exactly to what my experience was, but also just curriculum training and that kind of stuff here at the commission, for the academy. I wanted to see if I could just get the names and identity numbers, badge numbers, whatever it is for the individuals that were present in that story that I did back on January 18th.
You've been in communication with Derek Zabel about this, haven't you?
Yeah, I just wasn't sure. I wasn't fully understanding what he was saying 100% in that email. So I think it sounds like he is going to provide that to me, but I just wanted to at least voice it.
Yeah, and I'm aware of the email communication between you and him, and I am aware that he is communicating.
Okay, so. Great. All right. I would like to know why the commission is taking the position that I was not formally trespassed, because to me, as a citizen, it was really clear with and I cannot remember the name. Unfortunately, I thought the recording captured it, but the deputy that was speaking with me that said, "You're trespassed." I mean, that's really clear when he says that. And then Commander Miller affirmed that, reinforced that when I was speaking with him outside. So where's the disconnect on that? Because, I mean, that was, for me, pretty clear that I was trespassed. And if I didn't leave, as Commander Miller said, he's going to call police and I'm going to get arrested.
Okay.
So
I think the disconnect is that when someone is officially trespassed, there's paperwork that goes along with it, and you weren't served any paperwork. I asked after you emailed me, is there any paperwork was he given trespass paperwork? They said no one gave any trespass paperwork. We asked him to leave the campus. The end, because as far as they were concerned, the index wasn't here. That's what you were looking for, and so your business was. You said your business wasn't concluded.
Correct.
But we weren't going to produce the index that day. Mm-hmm. So if that's what you were looking for, we didn't have it, and so they were asking at that time for you to leave. They may have used the word trespass. I'm not saying they didn't use that word.
Right now, you do have to leave the building. Okay, at least leave the building. And yes, right now you do. You
like
are.
I said, I still have business conduct here, but you're telling me I'm not allowed to stay.
Right now, I'm telling you. What I'm telling you is you cannot be in this building right now.
Are you ordering me out?
Yes, I am ordering you out. Okay.
You need to get off the property now, though, okay? Because you are trespassing.
And if I don't leave, I'll be placed under arrest.
Well, we'll call the King County Sheriff, and they would come.
But are you ordering me off the property?
Oh, absolutely.
Are you a police officer?
Yes.
You're a commissioned police officer?
No. I'm sorry. I am ordering you off the property. You are not allowed on this property.
Okay, so you're trespassing.
If you do not go, we will call the local authorities, and they will come and they will handle it whether they feel fit. Whether that's give you a permanent no trespass order, or if that's them taking you into custody for trespass, that would be up to the local authorities.
But you are trespassing.
But I'm telling you, you are not allowed here. You are trespassing. Yes, that's why I'm telling you.
Okay.
I'm saying that there's a process to trespass someone, and that didn't happen. They didn't give you paperwork, and there is no paperwork filed.
I do agree with you regarding the paperwork. In fact, that's part of one of the things I wanted to ask about regarding training. I have had a litany of issues as I've worked on stories. Usually a lot of places don't like investigative journalists to show up because usually when we do, there's something going on that we're trying to get to the bottom of, and most people don't like get caught doing that. And so all across the state, I've had many issues regarding law enforcement officers in every different situation, state patrol, sheriff's deputies, and city police officers, saying to me they can orally trespass, they can provide a warning, a written trespass warning, but that they do not need and have never heard of sections 105 and 115 of the trespass statute. So from 9852. And the 105 instructs officers exactly what criteria needs to be met and what their obligation is to perform when a trespass occurs. And that's in 105. In 115, it is the actual form and the 10 components that, even if that form is not used specifically, the 10 components that must be used in a form in order for the trespass to take effect. And so I'm guessing that's probably the paperwork you're talking about, Executive Director.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me get this straight. So you mean to tell me cops have been doing their job wrong, not just in Washington state, but throughout the country regarding trespassing laws? That's like applying for a job to become a pilot, but you're going to be unwilling to learn aerodynamics. It just doesn't make any sense why they would hire cops and not even teach them how to do their job correctly.
I cannot overstate how important it is to hear the Executive Director of the Criminal Justice Training Commission say yes right here. The head of all training for all police trainees in the entire state of Washington just admitted yes that RCW 9A.52.105 and 115 are controlling and required. Law enforcement officers out in the field are saying only an oral trespass is required a significant amount of the time.
I'd like that trespass warning. I'm going to be, let's just get that.
Are you going to identify yourself? I need ID to write down who you are.
No, you don't. 9052, 70, 80, 105, and 115.
So you've been verbally advised that you're not allowed to be back
trespass.
there. Okay. Yeah, on
Okay.
on the secured property.
And that they are not required to do more.
Have been issued a trespass, is that there?
No trespass warning yet.
Okay.
I have that. The only other thing I'm asking for is the declaration form, which preferably for you guys would just be signed by whatever that guy's name was with the beard that came out.
Okay.
He's the one that wants me trespassing. As soon as he signs it, chief, I'm out of here. Then what I can do is I can have no trespass warning, the declaration form that's required by statute. I go and I do my civil remedy. I petition my government to seek redress of grievances, and I can solve the problem that way.
Okay, by our city, that's the only form we're required to give you. And you've been notified in person by law enforcement?
But we know that is not true when you read the very beginning of RCW 9A.52.105.
If you are not subscribed, do it now or get off YouTube, bitches.
That issue right there is what is leading to the massive amount of unlawful trespasses by citizen journalists and auditors at locations that are working a story. If the law as written in Washington state were followed correctly, this issue would not exist, and the amount of negative encounters between law enforcement officers and citizen journalist auditors would decrease, if not completely go away. To all Washington state residents / citizens in this election year, remember this. This is a huge election year issue to take to your elected officials and have them run on. This is a primary liberty issue.
This video is important, folks. Not only is Steve making sure they put up the signage and make records available to the public, he's educating the person in charge of the entire state police training academy on how the trespassing laws work, along with other things. We got to give these two credit for sitting with the people to answer questions and for making updates to their records availability. For anyone out there wanting to conduct First Amendment audits, this is the channel to learn from. He's taken First Amendment auditing to the next level. He's also teaching me on a personal level what to look for when I go inside these buildings. This is how you find misappropriation of funds. This is how you find ordinances that overstep the boundaries of our natural rights. Government continues to implement new policies that cross that threshold of the people's constitutional rights. The people, have to keep government in check, or else it's bye-bye baby to our freedoms. We're cutting off the video here, but you can definitely watch the rest of the interaction on his channel. You can also binge watch his videos as well. You will not be disappointed. Steve is the epitome of what a First Amendment auditor should be. When it comes to government accountability, First Amendment auditors are a staple in creating change, or should I say setting things straight. Lawsuits, resignations, hidden truths brought to light have happened because of the hard work done by we, the people. Keep it up, folks. Go subscribe to I Am Free Inland Auditing Media and let him know we sent you. He deserves your support. I'll see you in his comments.